Thank you very much, Mark.
Jerome, yesterday when Fifi Boafo spoke to me, he mentioned specific offices, and he says that these people were all told to go home and were told to stay home until they are invited to return, and yet they are drawing salary. He mentioned not names, but portfolios. So he says your director of finance has been sent home, your director of legal has been sent home, your director of health, your deputy director of health, Coco Clinic boss, Dr. Usu. He mentioned one, Usu answered as a name. He said Dr. Fojo was asked to stay home and is getting paid. And they were all directors before this, the last NPP administration. Can you explain to us what's happening with that?
Okay, thank you very much, Amari, for this opportunity. Let me also use this opportunity to extend my greetings to your lovely listeners. It is never true. That is not the case. In fact, yesterday I had the opportunity to listen to the live interview and also read the publication as well. And I can state emphatically that there is nothing of such nature which has happened at COCOBOD presently. Yes, I did hear Fifi did say that there are some individuals at COCOBOD who have been asked to go home. Excuse me to say, this makes no sense because COCOBOD in its current state is having some financial difficulties. So how on earth will any prudent manager ask board who are not due for retirement to step aside for other people to do what to work? He specifically mentioned the director of finance. I can tell you on an authority that the director of finance has never been asked to do what, to step aside or to go home and receive salary, but instead he has been reassigned to CRIC, that is Cocoa Research Institute Ghana. That is where he has been moved to. So if you come out to say that somebody has been moved from one department to another department or subsidiary, and that constitutes to letting the person step aside or be home and be paid, that is palpable force, and it is a statement which is backed by no iota of truth or fact. Again, he did indicate that Director Legal has also been asked to do what? To step aside. That also is not the case, because if you go to Cocoa Processing Company, which also is a subsidiary of COCOBOD, Director Legal has been transferred there to go and continue with whatever duties that he has been bequeathed with. So listening to Fifi, I really was surprised that somebody who have had an experience in the public sector space, you do not go about having this proposition, which are backed by no evidence or fact, but because of political reasons or because you want to stay relevant in the political space, you will have to go about churning out information which are misleading and unfounded, to say the least.
In the last few minutes, he has sent me some more information. So he says, and I'm going to ask you one by one so that you respond. He said, where has the director and deputy director of health been transferred to? Can you respond to that?
See, when Fifi says that where has the director health and then the deputy director health been transferred to, the director of health has been told to report to COCOBOD, that is the mother board, because Cocoa Health and Cocoa Clinic is a subsidiary of us, COCOBOD, and the mother company happens to be COCOBOD. So if a director there has been told to report to COCOBOD head office to come and continue his duty, we cannot say that the person has been asked to do what? To stay home.
So this person is been sent to COCOBOD head office, not to go home. So you can say on authority that your director health is currently at COCOBOD head office after having been moved from Cocoa Clinic.
In fact, let me even tell you that today, if you are to call the former director of health at Cocoa Clinic, he will tell you that he met with Jerome today at the office of the Deputy Chief Executive, Finance and Administration, today.
And it wasn't a one-off meeting he came to have. He's actually at work.
No, he's not. I met with him in a meeting today.
Fifi has remembered his journalism days, so he has a follow-up question. He said I should ask you, which duty is a medical director supposed to do at Cocoa House?
So, if Fifi, let me ask Fifi this question.
He's not on the line. He's actually just sending me questions. I'm a conveyor belt.
Yes, that is fine.
But he's listening, so go ahead.
So now, then Fifi will say that if somebody is a medical doctor in the political space and maybe the person is a minister of interior or minister of agric, the person has no expertise to deliver. Is that what Fifi is saying?
No, perhaps he wants to know what.
So for the fact that the person is a medical doctor and he is not, with all due respect, he is not the only medical officer. He's not the only medical officer that COCO Clinic has. COCO Clinic has a number of medical doctors. And as and when somebody is due, because the directorship at COCO Clinic is just a position. It is just a position that anybody at all, a medical officer at all at COCO Clinic who is due for promotion can be promoted to be the director health. So if the person there has been changed, it does not mean that the person has been ripped off his directorship position. The person remains, or his designation still remains as being what? A director at COCOBOD. Because if you are a director of health at COCOBOD, you are on the same level as a director at the main board. You are at the same level as a director at maybe CHED or CRIC. So your position as a director hasn't changed.
Okay.
But you have been assigned a new role.
Very well.
To do what? To perform.
How
about
the deputy director of health?
He's also here.
He's also at COCO House.
Yes, he's also here. He's also at COCO House.
And he was at work today.
Yeah, for him, I did not see him today.
But he's not on leave.
For him, he's not on leave.
Okay.
He's not on leave. In fact, the only one person that I can confidently tell you that he is on leave, only one person that I can confidently, and records at COCOBOD show that the person is on leave, accumulated leave, is Peter Osayamwako, who used to be the director of finance. And now, somebody will say that why is the person on leave? This person for the past 8 years has not had the opportunity to be on leave because he had other responsibilities added to his position as director of finance. So it made it extremely difficult, as it were, for the person to proceed on leave.
Okay.
So if this person has an accumulated leave and is on leave, you cannot use this as a justification or basis to say that the person has been ousted or the person has been asked to stay home and draw salary. In fact, Dr. Randy Abe is so prudent to the extent that he wants to resuscitate the comatose COCOBOD, which Fifi Boafo and his leadership as at that time bequeathed to him. So knowing the position of the board, he will not engage in any act that will further fuel the downfall of the board.
Okay.
That is certainly not the case.
Another follow-up from the man you succeeded. You succeeded Fifi Boafo in office, correct? He has sent another follow-up to you. He says that the director health and deputy are a consultant surgeon and a consultant anesthetist. He should tell us, and that's you should tell us what they will be doing at COCO House.
So, Omaru, the simple question I have for Fifi is that, are we looking at the individual interest or we are collectively looking at the forward march of COCOBOD? If Fifi can pontificate to the fact that whereas these people have been transferred from COCO Clinic, it has grounded COCO Clinic. And as such, activities which are to be done or executed at COCO Clinic have come to a halt. And as such, we are retrogressing as an organization. If he can indeed support with a fact, then we will say that letting or transferring the person to the main board has been disservice to COCO Clinic. But if you cannot say, in all certainty, that transferring or reassigning the person to the main board has caused the activities at COCO Clinic, then you have no business or justification. Okay. You are singling out an individual to say that because an individual. Now, the question is, that individual who made an application to COCOBOD, being a director at COCOBOD, it's fine, but not specifically to be what? A director of health, which is not a bona fide.
Okay. That
whole, for me, all the position that I applied at COCOBOD is to be the director of health. So if today I am not the director of health at COCOBOD, but still remains a director with COCOBOD and have been assigned to Cocoa House or the main board, it is a crime. I don't just get the logic.
Okay.
I really don't just get it. But if Fifi can tell me that, Jerome, reassigning the man from Cocoa Clinic has affected adversely the activities of Cocoa Clinic, then you will say, yes, Fifi has a point. But as we speak, Fifi is just engaging in mere propaganda and business allegations.
So they'll be given other offices to run, not necessarily Cocoa Clinic. That's the import of what you have said.
That is it.
Okay. Next
because
question.
Today, Omaru, I sit here today. I said of public affairs. Tomorrow, the chief executive and management can so decide that, okay, Jerome, you'll be moved to the finance department because I have other experience or qualification in respect of maybe finance. Okay. I can be moved to maybe the legal department because maybe you have a background in law. So you should do what? So you should move there. So it is important. It is important to note because the man you are talking about possibly is not even having one qualification or certificate working here as COCOBOD.
He mentioned other offices. So he said the MD for CMC, that's the Cocoa Marketing Company, correct? And his deputy have been transferred. But the transfer, we do not know where they have been sent to. So he wants to know where their office is.
See, the deputy MD for Cocoa Marketing Company. In fact, one even retired. And then there's one called Fred Amponsa Duku. All right? Fred Amponsa Duku was reassigned to research department.
And
as the deputy director.
And the MD himself?
As the deputy director was research. And then the director himself was also assigned to what? To Bunsu. Was also assigned to Bunsu.
What is at Bunsu?
We have Cocoa Research Institute Ghana.
Okay.
And then Bunsu too, we have our training school there.
So that's where the MD for Cocoa Marketing Company has been sent to.
Yes, please.
They are not been told to go home and sit down and wait.
You see,
okay.
That is what I'm saying. That Fifi.
Okay.
Because I have the full.
I'll let you respond to everything one by one. He said the MD. I'm coming. Let me just put this through again. He said the MD for QCC. I don't know what QCC is. Is it Quality Control something?
Quality Control. Yes, Good. Quality Control Company Limited.
Yes. He said the MD for QCC. Where has he been transferred to, and where is his office?
So, the QCC former managing director has also been assigned to be the technical manager and advisor to the Deputy Chief Executive Operations. The Deputy Chief Executive Operations at Cocoa House.
Okay, so he's also not home. Finally, the MD for the MD for CPC. That's what? Cocoa Processing Company or what?
Yes, Cocoa Processing Company.
Where has he been transferred to, and where is his office? That's the last question from Fifi.
So the last question, he has also been told to report to the main board.
Okay, so Fifi's point yesterday is that all these people you are just simply sending them home, and you are saying tonight that they are not home. It is false what Fifi said, and that they have all been reassigned.
Umaru.
Yes, please.
I am telling you on authority that no single individual has been told to stay at home. It will not make any financial sense because I've told you that the current chief executive officer is prudent. Look, it has also been established that if you come to an organization, it is not illegal or administratively erroneous for somebody to be assigned or to be transferred. If this is illegal or erroneous administratively, then Fifi sat at COCOBOD for 8 years. And in fact, I'm telling Fifi straight that the person that Fifi was reassigned, because Fifi came to COCOBOD as a contract staff, being the manager at the office of the chief executive, and then he was whisked to be the head of public affairs at the instance of somebody. Ask Fifi that. Ask Fifi Boafo that he came to COCOBOD not as a permanent employee of COCOBOD, but as a contract staff, because Boahinedu brought him. Because Boahinedu brought him to be a manager at his office. What landed him the position of being the head of what? Public affairs. at the time that we had people there. So ask Fifi if he can explain. So if reassignment of people is banned, why was he reassigned from the office of the chief executive to being the head of public affairs? So he should just have some credibility and speak to the fact of the issues. That reassignment of an individual in an organization has never been illegal or has never been erroneous so far as what organization or administration is what administration is concerned. It's concerned. Because if it is not done, how you Fifi today, you are being referred to as a former head of public affairs. How would you have been referred to that?
Okay.
And gallivanting around peddling falsehood.
Okay.
Respect of what you have no fact about.
Last question. So yesterday he actually even summarized the content of the letters that were given to me. He did not read verbatim, which presupposes that there are letters that were written by your office, and I mean COCOBOD, to these directors whom he is claiming are currently staying at home doing nothing by receiving salary. Tonight you're saying to us that these people are all in employment and are at work, save the director of finance who is on leave because he has not gone on leave for 8 years. If that, are you suggesting tonight that there can be no letter that will be produced by Fifi or any of these directors who allegedly have been sent home, which letter would prove that they have been sent home in the manner? If we dig, we will not find any letter like that, correct?
Umar, I am not challenging Fifi, but I am daring him that he should provide one single letter suggesting that these people have been ousted or have been asked to go home unduly without reassignment or a transfer. I am daring him. Okay. I am not challenging him, but I am daring him that if he can produce one letter suggesting that maybe Mr. A or Mr. B has been told to sit at home and draw salaries. Let me tell you, even today, as we speak today, the provision of maybe a lunch at meetings has been cancelled by management of COCOBOD because they want to be prudent. As we speak, foreign training has been suspended by Dr. Ransford Abe and the management of COCOBOD because they want to safeguard COCOBOD. Because if we are complaining that financially we are not okay, we cannot continue to do the very things that will further aggravate the difficulty or the financial difficulties of the board.
Okay.
So, what in God's name would an experienced person in management, like the chief executive, Dr. Ransford Abe, engage in this baseless allegation that Fifi Boafo is talking about? But Omaru, let it be on record that Fifi is a beneficiary of reassignment because Fifi never wrote an application applying to be the head of public affairs at COCOBOD, but by virtue of he being a contract staff at the office of the chief executive, then he was reassigned. He was reassigned and made an employee of COCOBOD.
Okay.
To be the head of public affairs. So what is he talking about?
Jerome, because
let him come out and answer.
He's actually on. He has. We've put him on, and because they say when the drum is around, you don't beat the face. You don't beat the side. So let me hear from him directly. Fifi, two issues. One, you are a beneficiary of the same thing you are complaining.